In terms of competitive advantages for the Volkswagen commercial, I didn't see any. Um, the commercial's kind of straightforward. It's just talking about like big, right? It's showing a variety of images or clips in this case, and saying big. Oh, this is bigger, right? And it's kind of uplifting. The music. Uh, it's diverse. Shows a variety of people, children, different races, just a variety of clips. I don't see how that ad is competitive at all. Uh, Aside from, I'm assuming it's an electric van, right? That could be a big competitive advantage because usually when you think electric cars, you're thinking small, like smart cars, things like that. I think Tesla's the only one that's making like the decent sized sedans and trucks. But for Volkswagen to come out with the van, it's kind of cool, right? Uh, I'm sure there's a market for it. Kind of positive there is. That could be one huge advantage for them that nobody that I know of is actually doing this, and for them to be pioneers in that industry with a van is really interesting, and it could, you know, drive sales for anybody looking for more than just a basic car. One of the goals that I think Volkswagen has because of this ad is you see the chocolate one for sure, right? You see a chocolate saying it's big, right? It's got one bite. You're assuming that it's just one person eating it that way because that's not something you do if you were to share, right? And then it cuts to a clip of a little boy sharing chocolate with another little boy, saying that's bigger. And then you see it again with the whale, right? Big, but then the action of cleaning the water in terms of taking out the that plastic bottle that was there is bigger. Uh, it symbolizes in a way that you know small actions can have a bigger impact than some other ones. The chocolate one, I mean, you're just being selfish, and then a bigger action would be sharing it, right? And then another one would be I guess, the actress getting her makeup done, and then that's big. But then the little girl or woman, whatever it was, looking in the mirror, accepting herself as who she is bigger. That's a nice message, right? Uh, the little things matter, and it's acknowledging that. It's one of the major goals that this shows. Another one would be obviously to sell cars. In this case, an electric van, which again, advantage because you don't see. I've never seen one before. That's the first one I've seen, and yeah, it might actually be good, but it's got a nice little message behind it, and it got straightforward. I mean, at first I didn't get it, right, and then I started paying attention more, and it's like, oh, this is actually this is actually a good, pretty cool commercial because it's comparing something and then saying that, oh, the more subtle, you know, something that benefits everybody is bigger than the selfish action or image or whatever it is. In terms of how this ADA model fits into all this, it certainly brings attention to a variety of topics: self love in the model, little girl thing, uh, sharing, or no selfishness, kind of, with the whole chocolate bar scenario that I had pointed out. Um, the wealthing, again, uh, brings awareness or attention to pollution and people putting trash in the waters. And then interest, for sure gets people interested in pointing out these little messages, especially if you watch it over and over again, right? You start catching things. It took me a lot of catches at first. I thought it was just a bunch of, just clips, but it ended up having a deeper meaning behind all these clips. Desire, uh, it kind of gives you a good little feeling, right, to want to go out and do these things, pick up some trash, just try and be a better person, or bigger, to be cheesy. You get the point. Action. It shows the action that it's implying. The second part, right? Chocolate bar, big bite out of one big piece of chocolate for just one person, or breaking it and sharing, or the self love thing, little girl accepting herself in the mirror. Well thing again, uh, shows what lives in the water, and then it shows hard cut to somebody picking up trash in what is presumed to be the same water where that well would be, right? This is for sure not the same depth, but the point gets across. That's how I feel the whole AIDA model would fit into this, because it literally hits all these points and it showcases them well. For sure, in this ad, Volkswagen is using a pull strategy because it's marketing this directly to the person who would buy it. They're not marketing it to like dealerships or anything. They're showing you the individual, all these actions that individuals are taking, and the individual would go and buy these cars. Clearly, it's uh, seeing how good the van looks pretty good, right? It's nice. Uh, People might start demanding it. I mean, there's got to be a market for it, right? Why else would they make it? They clearly have done research into this, and they found a niche or something that's gonna get these vans made and sold. Uh, like, I don't think a company as big as Volkswagen just throw away money to something that's just you know brand new or non-researched or anything, right? There's a lot of money in R&D, and it's a whole thing. But for sure, they're using the pull strategy because it's a car, right? You sell it to the individual. You can sell it to wholesalers, but again, those cars need to move, and for them to move, consumers need to be interested in them. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Volkswagen in this ad is using institutional uh, advertising because it only makes them look good. They're bringing awareness to a variety of problems, and they're showing more or less people dealing with them or how somebody would deal with them. Trash can or trash getting picked up, sharing chocolate, and accepting yourself for who you are. Again, great example. There's a variety, but those are the ones that are nail on the head, right? They're so blatant, it's hard to miss. And I missed them the first time around, but the second one I got, I was like, oh, yeah, sneaky. But yeah, they're making themselves look great in these ads. They don't really showcase the van at all. I mean, they just show it for a few seconds, maybe a second, right? It wasn't much. They show it driving, and they close it. Not, they don't even close it with the van. They close it with the earth. Pretty sure. Uh, but yeah, this for sure was for their image, and they wanted to stand out from everybody else, and they chose to attack it this way, and it kind of plays out in a good way. For sure, it made them look good, and it makes them look good. I mean, how can you be negative towards dealing with pollution and self-love and all that? And, the advertising appeal for this is clearly to go green. This is made for people who want to grow green, who want a van, who want something that looks really nice, and want to feel better about themselves for making the purchase. It's for sure that's who they're marketing is to people who want to feel they're making a difference in their purchases. People who are into this. I mean, everybody should be into it, but I mean, there are people who are more into it. Clearly, not a lot of people are going into the oceans and cleaning it, and a lot more people probably should, but that's just not the case with everything. So they're for sure marketing it towards a specific person, somebody who wants to go green or is green and really has their things together and wants a van, a really nice one at that. In terms of personal selling, they're not really selling the product in this ad. Like I said, it's only in frame for maybe 2 seconds tops, right? But they're selling an idea behind it, and it's the idea of going green. It's the idea of environmentalism. It's all these things. Sharing is caring, self-love, uh, cleaning the earth, ridding of pollutions, pollutants, and all that. They're selling more of an idea in this, bad, and it's really hard to like personal selling. I mean, costs, all that. I mean, you're not really wasting money on anything. You just get video clips, throw it together. It's not like you're showcasing the car. It's not like you're, you know, having people test drive it and you're showing. You're not. You're not doing any of that. You're just taking clips, putting them in more or less context of how you want it, and you're letting that run its course. In terms of pricing strategy, I mean, there's not really much on it. It's just estimates. They're saying around 40K, uh, which is kind of reasonable for an electric car. I mean, the sedan from Tesla is more or less around that range, around 25, 30K. Right, $10,000 more for a good cargo van or whatever is a pretty good deal. Uh, but yeah, their pricing strategy, I don't know where it would go because if that's base, it would only go up considering that vans are one of those things that offer huge customizability, and we don't know the trim options that they're gonna have come out the gate or anything really. But estimates are around 40K. That's not that bad. Uh, would I pay it? Probably not. But I mean, you get what you pay for. It's an electric car. They're more pricey, right? You're gonna feel good about yourself when you get it.